In your time at St. Martin's University, there will be a number of times when you're unable to access an article through the tools available through the library's webpage. This does not mean, however, that you cannot get these articles for your use. It means that you need to request them from another library, a process called Interlibrary Loan, or ILL for short. At SMU, we process these requests using a tool called ILLiad. To begin, you'll need to make sure that you have an account set up with ILLiad. This does not happen automatically, but it only takes a couple of minutes to set up. From the library's homepage, click the ILLiad Interlibrary Loan button on the homepage, and you'll be taken to this login screen. If this is your first time using ILLiad, you'll simply need to click the First Time Users link, and you'll be brought to this policies page. Perhaps the most important policies to pay attention to will be the limits of requests that can be submitted through ILL at one time, and the fines for items, $1 per day per item. Now, to understand the significance of this, when we get an item through Interlibrary Loan, we're getting it from another library. So if we access an item that has a return date, they set that date and we simply need to enforce it. And last of all, the copyright notice, which states that you will only use ILL items for personal and/or academic use. When you come to the bottom of the page, click I accept. And you'll be brought to this new user registration screen. To register, simply fill in the starred information here. Note really quickly, please, that the username and password are not tied to your St. Martin's University username and password. So they can be anything you like, and they don't change the way your St. Martin's username usually does. Once you fill in the information, go ahead and click Submit Information. And you'll be brought to this screen from which you can request an item using the Request menu on the left-hand side of the screen. Let's go ahead and look at what an article request looks like. To request the article, you only need to fill in the information that has a red star beside it. You can fill in more information, and that will make it easier to process, but it's not necessary. Let's go ahead and look at a book request screen. Again, very similar. All you need to do is fill in the starred request items. Other common requests are for conference papers, reports, and multimedia items. Theses are for requesting a master's thesis or a dissertation, a doctoral dissertation. You may have to fill in the starred items yourself, and you'll often need to do that. But under some conditions, Saint Search or other library tools will fill in these bits of information for you. Let's look at an example. Let's say you are an academic search premier and you are looking for articles on early childhood education and academic performance. You simply type in those terms and execute the search. After entering those search terms, you would come to a results screen like this. Now, you'll notice that some of these are available full text, while others are not. Let me take a moment here to show you what happens if you hit the full text filter, and to hopefully convince you to not do it right off the bat. Up here we have 42 hits. Let's go ahead and click the full text filter. Doing this, the number drops from 42 to 24, which represents a 43% reduction. That's quite a high percentage and pretty typical of many searches. In any given search, you may lose 40 to 60% of results by clicking full text. The problem is that you now will only be able to consider 57%, or roughly half of the possible information sources you could have used. If you've given yourself and your research time, not clicking full text will be to your advantage because you'll be able to evaluate many more good information sources. But let's go back to the other screen. Back at the unfiltered results list, notice that the first hit is not available full text. There are two options beneath information, the descriptive information. One is check SMU Saints search or request from ILLiad. Since the O'Grady Library subscribes to dozens of databases, it's a good idea to always check Saints search to see if we might have access to the article through a different database that can be searched. So let's click that. Alrighty, we see here, because of the yellow dot next to the availability, that we do not have access to this through St. Martin's University. So let's go ahead and go back to the results list and click the other option. When we click Request from ILLiad, we're automatically taken into ILLiad, and the information has been entered already for us here. And all you need to do is click Submit Request. Most requested articles will be emailed to you within just a couple of days, even the next day in some cases. Other times you may get an email saying that you need to pick it up through e-delivery. And to get there, you simply come here to the e-delivery link on the left-hand page and come here, and it would be available for download right here. And that's how you'd request an article through Interlibrary Loan, or ILLiad, the ILLiad tool. If you have any questions about this, please do not hesitate to contact librarians at the O'Grady Library. Thanks much.